Hi guys, FX here. So yeah, let me show you guys something. So do you guys remember that 15-minute strategy that I was explaining yesterday? That by the New York session open, you'd mark out the mark out the candle once the New York session's first 15 minutes candle. That's 1 o'clock candle on my side. I don't know what I've forgotten the time that it is on that side in the New York. But once New York session, this is New York session open, right? This is New York session open. So after it closes, you mark it out. You mark it out. You mark the high and the low. Then you switch to 5 minutes. Then wait for a break and close above it. Then on the retest, you take your buy, SL below the low, and you target 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. Look at it now. Yesterday we got stopped out. Today, see, it worked. The strategy worked today, but it's crazy that I could not do it on live stream. It's crazy that I could not stream it, but it worked today, as you can see. On the 15 minutes, I already marked out the 1 o'clock candle, the 1 o'clock high and low. Then switch to the 5 minutes. It closed above it, waited for the retest of it, set my buy limit. After it closed above it, I set my buy limit, SL here. Then I waited for the retest. The retest, I was tapped into the trade and boom. But because I was already waiting for price to come to this high, since I was already waiting for price to come to the CRT high, which is this region on the daily time frame, which is this region on daily time frame. Yes, this region. Since I was already waiting for price to come to this region, right? I So I was already waiting for price to come to this region. Yeah. I just put my TP around the region I was waiting for price to come to. And boom, we got that was a 1:ratio 7 RR trade. Basically, at the end of the day, it was a 1:ratio 7 RR. So the strategy worked. The strategy works. But yesterday we got stopped out. I was mentioning something about the fact that um, it works. It works. It works. Of course, there are times when markets, does this thing, but it works overall. Most especially, and I mentioned this, that it's not going to be very, very sweet if you know the direction that price is going in. So you see, after tapping into it, NFP comes, boom, look at that. One candlestick, one candlestick already pushed about how many RR? One candlestick One candlestick already pushed 1:7 already, not to now talk of the TP. That was 1:7.8 in total. And how much are you risking? How much are you risking? $45, $50. Multiply that by 7, that's 350. Easy. Easy. It works. And it's always very, very nice when you know the direction market is going to. So yeah, that is one way to, enter the market and make your money. So yes, be waiting for price to, we've had this analysis for a while. We've been waiting for price to sweep either the low or the high, so then we can see our pattern, then follow price to the upside. So the sweep of the sweep, pull back, market structure shift, break on structure, pull back, we take our trade and follow the opposite side of the range. This is what our ideal trade entry would look like. So yeah, we are observing. Also, these buys that are currently happening can push to the 50% of this swing movement. Can push to the 50% of this swing movement, of this swing sales. We've been wanting to take buys to target the 50% of these swing sales. And though the buys finally happened, but since we trade with prop firms, we can't really trade news. So, and since we didn't even see our setup did not play out, so we don't take the buys from the we don't take the buys from the low, and it's almost at 50% of this swing movement. So let's see. That's about 5-2. Let's see what's going to happen from there. Point is, we've gotten all the sweeps you want. We've gotten all the sweeps you want, and all we need to do is just to wait for our structure to form. Then, if we get tapped into the trade, Ray. If we don't get tapped into the trade, um, nope. That will be that about that. Let's see what let's see what let's see what the news was like. NFP, what's happened? NFP, non-farm payroll, actual 73, forecast, actual 73, forecast 106, previous 14K. So this is in favor of the dollar, is it not? Is it not in the favor? So we don't know. We might end up getting sales, but we'd have to wait to see the pattern to follow our sales. Yeah, bye for now. I just wanted to show guys an update on the strategy. I wanted to show guys an update on the strategy. Guys can see that it works. It works. It works. It works. It's just doing the usual where we have to always price will always do its thing basically. I'm trying to say, but you can see when you see ratio 7.8, clean. Bye guys.